The Chicago Bears coming away with a big victory over the Cleveland Browns in week 15. The offense couldn't stop scoring. The defense couldn't get scored on. It was a great matchup from start to finish, but that doesn't mean that there's not some things the Chicago Bears can do to improve going up against these better teams in the NFC to close out the season. Starting with the offense, Caleb Williams, phenomenal game, 2 touchdowns, over 250 yards passing, but at the same time, he still struggles with his accuracy. In this game, yes, 60% completion percentage for Caleb Williams, but that doesn't mean that that is going to be the norm. He's got to lock it in, and he's really got to stop making those ill-advised throws like the second touchdown to DJ Moore. Now, when it works, it's one of the best things to see in the world. Zipping a ball past two defenders with outreached arms and converting for the touchdown. You'll love to see it, but you'd hate to see it work against a team like the Cleveland Browns and then falter against a team like the Green Bay Packers or in the playoffs when they're going to be versing the Packers yet again. You don't want the season to end because of a throw like that. And Caleb Williams, he believes in himself maybe a little too much, but that's also kind of needed when there's so much outside noise saying Shedeur Sanders is a better quarterback than you. So just keep it under control, keep it together, and I'm sure it'll go a long way. But another way to help Caleb get towards those good completion percentages is also, the receivers catching the dang ball. Because in this contest alone, 4 draft passes, 2 of them by Kyle Monangai, and that's just not something you could do when you have a quarterback who already struggles with accuracy concerns. They got to lock it in. If the ball is going to hit your hands, you got to catch it. Unacceptable to drop the passes. I know Monangai got one that was a little extra spicy from Caleb, but still, it was into the breadbasket. You got to come away with those catches. Defensively, not much to say here. 3 takeaways through the air, 1 of them on the ground, and 5 sacks on top of all of it. But the one thing I will say is the Bears, they really do struggle when it comes to stopping mobile quarterbacks. Shedeur Sanders, not much on the ground in this contest, but he did sneak away with a 15-yard run. So that's just something that cannot happen with this Bears defense. They need to contain these guys. Yes, it was an undesigned run, something that happened in the spur of the moment, but the Chicago Bears have been burnt many times this season, most infamously by Tyler Huntley and a down and bad Baltimore Ravens team, basically revitalized their whole season in that game because Baltimore Ravens are back to 500 at this point, and it really stemmed from that performance against the Bears defense. The Bears defense needs to lock it in. They need to get it together, not let guys escape out of the pocket like that. They got to get home eventually, somehow, some way, or at least stop these quarterbacks from busting one open when they do run for it. The last thing I'm going to talk about, we already all know, we talked about the offense, we talked about the defense, but on special teams, Cairo, we got to actually nail our field goal attempts. We can't leave points on the board in these games going up against the upper tier opponents of the NFC and hopefully the playoff opponents the Chicago Bears are going to be going up against. You can't leave points on the table. That will either get the Bears eliminated from playoff contention or eliminated from the playoffs altogether. So Cairo, I love you, but you got to nail your field goals.